Recording in progress.
This was embarrassing to me because I had probably given a gallon of immune globulin to volunteers in Bolivia to prevent hepatitis A. And I assumed going to Europe, we would be in developed areas where I wouldn't have to worry about that. So I did not get myself immunized or get us immunized against hepatitis A. And this is just after I'd gotten my boards in preventive medicine. So this trip was in part a celebration of having accomplished that, but yet the trip itself then exposed me to hepatitis A and I came back sick. And I was pretty sick. I lost 2.5 months of work. I was bedridden at home, turned yellow, was kind of miserable, began to get better, and my doctors were encouraged, and then I relapsed. My physician said, if this doesn't turn around soon, we're going to have to do a liver biopsy and make sure we understand exactly what's happening. That didn't sound good to me. But fortunately, my laboratory tests began to improve and I began to improve. So I was sick through December, over Christmas, into January, and it was in February and March when I really began to come back and was able to get back to work. Fortunately, the university was good about giving me sick leave, and the Board of Health was willing to stick with me while I went through all of this. But that was a real lesson. I've been fine ever since, had no recurrence, and all has been well.
And in southern Portugal, along the shore, Bill succumbed to eating a salad, which in those days you didn't do, and he figured, it's Portugal, things are clean, and I attribute his hepatitis to that salad. Who knows?
Could be. We have no idea.
We even, because we had happy hours, we even put our ice cubes in little plastic bags to cool our drinks.
Without melting water into them, right?
Right.
Yeah, we were careful not to drink water out of the tap. We followed all the rules except for that one time. But it could have happened in a number of ways. That was deflating, to say the least. But at least I got through it, and as we moved into 1975, I got well and I recovered completely. Was then in the summer of 1975 when we began thinking about perhaps it being time to move on. So we were thinking about that a little bit, but as kind of an aside, I kind of always wanted a sports car. Never could afford it. And sort of put it in the back burner as not something I could afford or should be concerned about. But while we were there in Hazard, the bug began to bite me again. And so I began to look around at how I might be able to find a sports car that I could afford. So I began to look into kit cars and learned about the so-called Bradley GT, which was a fiberglass body sports car that could be put onto a VW Bug, a Volkswagen chassis. It turns out that the little Volkswagen sedans, I think it was just 16 bolts, hold them onto a chassis. So the frame is really a floor pan, and the front wheel assembly and the rear wheel assembly and engine, and then the body just drops on top of that. So it was fairly simple in design, at least. So I decided to bite the bullet.
Here we go, reset.
Mm-hmm.
Recording stopped.